Hello vinyl community, it's Matt here again, and today I am doing a contest entry video. I haven't done one of these for a long time, but this is for Rob Walker, who is celebrating 2 years in the vinyl community. So congratulations, Rob. It's sort of kind of hard to believe it's been 2 years already, but yeah, really big congratulations. It's good to see your channel growing, and always enjoy watching your videos. So Rob's contest was to show 5 of the albums of 5 artists that you would have liked to have seen a concert for, an artist that maybe you wish you had gone, where you've gone to a gig and maybe now you never can't, an artist that you have regrets that you never saw live. So I picked out 5. For my 5, for one reason or another, the artists that would be kind of impossible to see now, but we'll go through them. So congratulations again, Rob. Here's my entry, my 5 artists. So to start with, I'm going to show ABBA. Yeah, now obviously ABBA broke up more than 35 years ago, so it would be impossible to see them live now, but I still regard them as one of the best pop artists of all time. I mean, it's kind of hard to overstate how huge they were from the mid-70s to the early to mid-80s. I mean, they were just one of the biggest pop bands on the planet, and their harmonies were amazing. I think they were really underrated as songwriters as well. So yeah, ABBA. Next up, George Michael. Now, for obvious reasons, never going to be able to see George Michael live. I think George Michael is one of the best vocalists that Britain has ever produced. I just think his vocal range, he was a terrific songwriter as well. And okay, his days with Wham, the Wham stuff was pop and some of it a little bit cheesy, that type of thing. But once he branched out and broke away and did his own thing, I mean, he never looked back. Father Figure and Praying for Time, and some of the cover versions he did live, like I Can't Make You Love Me and Tonight by Elton John's another example, were just like spine tingling. I mean, he just made singing look effortless. So George Michael is my second pick. Next one, again, sort of for obvious reasons, Queen. Now, I know that technically they're still together. They perform with Adam Lambert and that type of thing. But of course, classic Queen with Freddie Mercury is what it's all about. And I mean, Freddie's been dead for, was it 91? It's 30 years this year. Jeez. But yeah, I mean, what a tight band. I mean, almost really needs no introduction, right? I mean, Queen, still up there for me. Still, would still be one of my favorites. Might nudge my top 10 favorite bands of all time. And but yeah, Freddie's vocals, come on, Brian May on guitar. I mean, that's what it's all about. And of course, their legendary set from Live Aid. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, can you imagine being a part of that in the crowd? Yeah. Okay, next up, the Eagles. Eagles are still one of my favorite bands of all time. Would definitely be in my top 5. And again, it's sort of for obvious reasons, unfortunately. What with Glenn Frey no longer being with us, that I know that they've performed without him since. And in fact, I have a live album of theirs where that was the case. But yeah, it's not going to be the same, not quite the same without Glenn Frey. And yeah, anyway, they went through a number of lineups, of course, in the 70s. We all know about that. But yeah, I do, having watched and listened to a number of their concerts, I mean, really, again, just really tight. They were always on point. Again, it's sort of hard to overstate how huge these guys were in the 70s. I mean, largely the US, they weren't quite so popular like in the UK. And again, slightly before my time. I mean, their last studio album was, well, before they had the big breakup, was The Long Run, right, which came out I think in 1980. So I mean, I was only about a year or two old by that point. So yeah, a little before my time, their heyday. But anyway, last up, Paul McCartney. Now, I know he's still alive, and I know he still performs. He just released an album, and I know he still tours, or pre-COVID he was touring anyway. Um, I'm sure I'm going to get some negative comments for this, but his voice is gone. It's gone, and that's a real shame. I would have loved to have seen him even 20 years ago. His voice was still pretty good. Um, it and in the last 10, maybe even a dozen years or so, it's really his age has really started to show vocally. He started to sound old, before. um, you wouldn't maybe be able to tell if he was 30 or 50. You couldn't really tell from him singing. Now you can tell, and it's not to. I'm not criticizing him. I mean, the guy's nearly 80. What's he going to do? I mean, the fact that he's still writing and recording, and on a McCartney 3, like, played every instrument. I mean, it's the guy's a legend. Don't get me wrong. I'm not criticizing his legendary status. And I picked out Ram because Ram is my favorite solo album of his by far, actually. I think this is his best post-Beatles work. With Band on the Run will be a pretty close second, but yeah, Ram, I think it all came together for Ram. But anyway, I do wish I'd seen him even 20 years ago. I know he would have still been almost 60, but he was still good vocally, and now it's a shame he can't hit the notes like he used to. But again, it's a product of age. What are you going to do? I mean, the fact that I guess he's almost like a workaholic. The fact that he's still going, and again, without COVID, he probably would still be touring, doing live performances. And the fact that he's still writing and putting out his own material, can't praise him highly enough. I just think that if I were to see him in concert, I would have wanted to see him a little bit closer to his peak than he is now. That's all that is. So that's it. That's my 5 entries. I had a bit of a hard time picking a couple of those out. But the McCartney I wasn't too sure about, because I thought, I do love him. He is a legend. But just had to be honest about it. And yeah, there were one or two others that came closer. Warren Zevon I considered. And again, for the obvious reason, he hasn't been with us for some time, and I really like his music. And yeah, there were a few Oasis as well. I thought about, like, in the heyday in the 90s. But anyway, that's what I settled on. So, all right, thanks everyone for watching. Congratulations again, Rob. And I think he said his contest runs until. Did you say mid-February, like the 15th? I think it's mid-February. So you've still got plenty of time to enter if you'd like to. And I wasn't too clear on what the prize was. He mentioned VCRT, so I think he'll pick something, I guess, and send it to. He did say that it didn't matter where you lived; you didn't have to be in the UK. So we'll see who wins. But yeah, anyway, there's a link to Rob's channel in the description below. Please do check him out. Always interesting. He loves his sort of punk and post-punk and new wave stuff, and he's also into a lot of modern music too. And he's the little so-and-so that introduced me to public service broadcasting, when I ended up spending a lot more money than I should on their albums. But anyway, all right, guys, thanks as always for watching. Do check out Rob's channel, please, and until next time, bye bye.